so glamorous. You're with me, Brina Kreya, and today we are in the second half of the fitness transformation program. So doctor, what are we going to do in this episode?
Hi, this is Dr. Asif Khan. Today I'm going to showcase what we do for the second half of the program or the second session of the program. From here I will take you down to my restaurant, what you can see behind, where I'm going to show you the food what we serve for our client and the beneficial of that nutrition and how that food is being made. Where we will also have our chef who is the chef in charge to make that kind of food, who can understand how to preserve the nutritional value of that food. After having that food, we'll go on a beach where we have our third cardio session, which will be a beach biking, and then we end up with the relaxation launch, and after that we'll head for a dinner. Hi guys, welcome back at Marriott Resort and Spa. You are here with me in my second episode of FTP program. On the last episode, I showed you the benefits of weight training and the transformation episode where we understand how we do the weight training as well as the benefits of trigger point massage. In this episode, we'll take you around the benefits of nutrition and one of the core value thing what we understand importance of food and nutrition into the program, which is most important thing in my program. Before that, I would like you to introduce to my chef, his chef Pradeep.
Hi guys.
He's the person who does food, who makes food for the FTP program. He understands very well how to make this food and how he can preserve those nutrition into that food, so that my guests can have this food and still transform without doing exercise and without doing all those kind of outdoor activity. Here I present Chef Pradeep. Would you like to say something?
As we are doing this program from last 1 year, so the main aim of ours is to look for the caloric value and the nutrition value of the food. We are making in such a way so that we can preserve the nutrition value as much as we can. And on the same side, we are looking for the method of cooking so that we can preserve it, like we are using steaming, boiling, so that we can lose as less as we can want to use the caloric values of the thing. And for that we are measuring each and everything. We are taking a recipes, we are jotting down it, so that whenever whoso makes it, it makes as perfect as we are making each a time. And the plating will be very simple, so that guests can eat everything from that. And without doing any exercise, by having the food only, he can transform himself from before to after.
Hi guys, as you can see on my plate, we have some beef, steak, some sauté vegetables, and over here in my client plate you can see the pomfret which has been grilled and with some sun-dried tomato and some lemon and some lettuce over here. As I told you in my introduction about the FTP program and the core value of FTP program, how does the transformation takes place. We keep on one hand side about what we do on a weight training, what we do a cardio session. The most important part of this program is food. If you stick to the food, if you understand the nutritional value of the food, if you understand how to make that food, how to cook that food, you can transform yourself, and what I call, you can become a fat burning machine just by having this kind of food. I definitely do not agree with post workout and pre-workout nutrition and supplement until and unless you are access to the food. The difference will be that nutrition supplementation business is fine, but until and unless you have this kind of food access to you, you can do it. It's very technical thing. Do we realize that 100 years back or 150 years back, when we finish our workout, when we do our training, we need to take the nutrition? Do we have this supplement industry? At that time we don't have. If you access to food, I would always advise you guys not to go for supplementation and be on a natural food. Eat what you feel like. Secondly, eat the nutritional food. Now as per this food, if you can see on my plate, what does the food contain? This is a piece of 200 grams of beef steak. What I'm going to have, it's yummy. It contains 44 grams of lean protein in that. Apart from this, I have some broccoli, some mixed veggies, some zucchini and some carrot. I think that's enough complex carbs for me for this time to have it. So you have seen in my plate what I'm going to eat. You can just see on my client plate what she's having. She's having 300, she looks skinny, but she eat a lot actually, believe me, because her body requires so much of food. She is eating 300 grams of pomfret. This pomfret has been grilled in canola oil and been sprinkled with olive oil, where she has sun-dried tomatoes, some lettuce, some olive and some goat cheese in that. And believe me, she's going to eat this all just in a few minutes of time. So you can just have your meal and see how does it feel. Nice, yummy. So I hope she will finish this entire food, right? So guys, this is what I'm just trying to tell you. Stop wasting your money in supplementation and getting all these powders inside your house, inside your gym. Eat proper food, eat better food, eat lean food, and eat on time. And this is how our forefathers used to live. If we go 500 years back, we don't have so much of money also, and we don't have so much of we don't have these facilities of getting this imported supplementation and this thing into our country and use it. What we required is just a food, a natural amount of food, which fills you up and which gives you proper nutritional value. What you see in my plate, again I'm repeating, is a lean amount of protein, some fats, which I'm getting from my source of olive oil as well as flaxseed oil, and some complex carbs which I'm getting from my vegetable. That's enough for my body to function at this point of time. Hi guys, welcome back. This is our last cardio session where we do a beach biking. It's very difficult to do a beach biking. As you can see, it's a low tide. It's not even more low tide, so the sand gets really soft. Now this becomes very difficult to bike down, where you burn more calorie than the street biking. So we will be covering 25 kilometers. We'll go from this end to that coastal end, and we'll be back in 1.5 hours of time, most probably 1.5 hours of time. So as per my calculation, just doing this kind of beach biking into this beautiful environment, you won't feel like that you have done an intense training. It will be not that much intense. You will actually burn 700 to 1000 calories depending on what kind of speed you're doing. Generally we do 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. So let's follow us. We'll just start the beach biking. Welcome back. Over here we just finished our 24 kilometers of biking, which was actually very intense biking, and my client she's fully depleted and tired. Even I am fully depleted and tired. It was a well session. We actually planned for 24k, but we did 28k. It was an additional supplementary thing. I got motivated after seeing that she was biking more harder than me. Now it's the end of the program, the end of the day. We are just lying down by the end of the beach side near the sunset, right? And she'll be just relaxing for an hour, just make a cool down before she hits the restaurant to have a dinner. She might be feeling hungry right now because her body is depleted. So, but I won't recommend to have dinner as we did for the first session. Just after the training session, as I told you, need to have the post-workout nutrition, which is the fish and the steak. But over here we don't do it because this is the end of the session. What we need to do is to relax your body, like your blood vessels, blood circulation goes down, the whole body gets relaxed, you're mentally alert, and then we go and hit the dinner. Because what happens once you eat the food as it is, if your blood vessel is not settled, if your circulation is not settling down, you go and have this heavy meal which is near about 66 grams of protein and 10 grams of fatty acid, as well as some micronutrition in that with yogurt as well as the berries, and end of bedtime, which will be just 1 hour after this relaxation time. So all the blood will be again diverted in your stomach. That's the reason we have this relaxation time. So she'll be relaxing here, and after that we'll hit the restaurant for a dinner. That's it.
So doctor, our viewers would like to know what a healthy diet consists of. So please tell our audience what a healthy diet is.
In my dictionary there's no meaning of diet, because when we talk about diet, people generally understand it's to eat less and exercise more. But what you have seen in the whole episode, the first episode and the second episode, the way we train, the way we did intense training in the evening, the biking, as well as the way we do the morning cardio exercise, compared to that ratio, what she had was more than what she trained and what she burned. This is how the body's been balanced metabolically. it's like you have to eat that much amount of food what is required for a human body. It's not what you're burning. It's a very misunderstanding concept in this generation, especially in 21st century, for youngsters. What they think, like for example, just few days back a person called me, asked me a question. It's like they think like if you do a cheating day for example and eat whatever you feel like and you drink whatever you feel like, and approx maybe 1,000 calorie, maybe 5,000 or 2,000 calorie, the next day you come down to the gym, you do 2 hours of treadmill, 1 hours of cross training and some weight training, and you fully drain yourself and you think that you have burned whatever you have intaken. But it's a very wrong misconception, because you don't think the previous day what you have eaten and what your body has gone through that to burn that food and to digest that food, to throw it out. The wear and tear, the systematic inflammation which has been taken place on the previous day, that cannot be repaired back on the next day. What you are trying to do is like your body on the previous day has gone on a fatigue zone where the body has to digest so much amount of junk food as well as the food which I call it in my directory as anti-nutrition or bioactive food. And then on the next day you don't have enough fuel inside your body, but you're struggling yourself to burn more and more calorie and to keep a makeup of that food, which is a very wrong concept. What I would like to advise you guys, as I have told you before, after my lunch time, understand the nutritional value of the food, understand how the food should be made and what time your body requires that food and when you need to eat that food. Understand how much amount of protein is required. Protein is very essential thing in your body. As I've told you before, carbohydrates always burn in the body, whereas protein doesn't burn, it always breakdowns in the body. So my question to this topic is not about that you eat maximum amount of protein, but you need to understand how much protein you require. As per the research, half gram of protein per body weight is required. Now when I say half gram of protein per body weight, that also does not mean that if you are 120 kg, so you calculate half gram of protein into 120 kg, which brings about 400 grams of protein, which is also wrong. You need to calculate your body fat percentage, where you're standing, for example 35% of body fat, 40% of body fat. So the best way is to calculate your body fat percentage. BMI is a different aspect. What is body fat percentage? BMI calculate the body mass index. So suppose if a person is having a lean body mass of 40% and a body fat percent of 12, which is a healthy and athletic zone, so his diameter, his frame is actually so big. So when you calculate the BMI appears to be above 30. That does not mean his body is unfit or he is in an obesity zone. But if you calculate the body fat percentage, it will be always less than 12%. This is what we call waist to hip ratio. If you are overweight but you still tackle what is your waist, suppose if your waistline is 28 or 30 and still you are having excess weight, so you don't have to worry, because that weight may be some kind of phenomena or physiological changes in your body. But you need to understand that how much of protein you require. So you calculate your body fat percentage, take out 12 to 15 or 18% is the best zone to keep yourself. On that 18% of body fat, you need to understand how much protein you require. What I basically recommend is to always have 40 to 50% of your daily nutritional value of your lean protein, class A protein, class B protein, which is actually your beef. Now people who doesn't eat beef, they can always switch on to chicken or fish or eggs, all this thing. Another 30% of your nutritional value should comes from healthy essential fat. The fats are very important. Do not be confused. Eating fat will not make you fat. Fat is very essential and it is a secondary source of fuel inside your body. So you have to take fat on a daily basis, because if you don't have enough of carbohydrate in your body, you will take fat and this fat will burn and gives you energy, and that is the way how the body fat burns. So you need to take 20 to 30% of essential fatty acid, which comes from extra virgin olive oil, canola oil, coconut oil, goat cheese, all forms of other cheese, butter, this thing. The third thing is calculate the carbohydrate intake in your body. If you take excess carbohydrate, it's a very different phenomena. Stay touched to SCN. Maybe we'll come back again and tell you next time what is the stages of carbohydrate and how does carbohydrate burn inside your body and what is the relationship between the intake of carbohydrate and fat storage. It's a very deep relationship as per research. So I will just advise you to stick to the minimal requirement of carbohydrate and always stick to the natural source of carbohydrate. Avoid as much of complex form of carbohydrate, for example rich sweet potato, rice, wheat, and you can still get the enough amount of carbohydrate from green leafy vegetable like asparagus, avocado, and lots of different kinds of vegetable as well as the fruits. So this is all the important nutrition which you need to take on your daily lifestyle, and you have to work out on your daily lifestyle. One more thing which I would always like to say, I don't believe in any kind of fat loss or weight loss where you don't move your body. To burn fat, to lose excess amount of weight, you have to move your body. So I would always recommend that you eat well, eat on time, eat better food, understand the proper nutritional value of food, and exercise on a daily basis. This is what I would like to say to the coming generation and today's youngsters.
Thank you very much, doctor, for giving us so much information about fitness and joining us on this episode.
My pleasure, always welcome.
That's all I had for you in this episode. Keep watching HCN.